by 0.11. Probably that is measured in metric tons per month, no? 0.11 metric tons, that would be how many kilos? That would be 110 or 112 or 113 to be exact kilos per month. So, saan nanggagaling yung carbon dioxide? That would be from our factories, vehicle emissions, aircon, and I do not know where, baka population din, no? The more people, uh, mas
Agriculture,
marami.
sir. Forestation.
Deforestation din, no?
Agriculture.
So, yeah. Kasi sometimes there's a relationship between your forested covered area and your population. So when your population increases, we need to build more houses. So there will be deforestation. And then when your population increases, it needs more mouth to fill or to feed. And so we also intensify our agricultural activities. So deforestation, increase in farming activities. So these are all um, contributing to higher carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because wala nang magse-sequester ng carbon dioxide. We know that trees, forest covers, wetlands, these are the carbon sinks in our environment. So the carbon sinks are the ones that would sequester carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So ganun siya. So basically, we are doomed as population increases, carbon dioxide will be higher in the atmosphere. So the higher the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, yan hindi ko na alam ang effect na. Iinit ba yan? Kasi di ba parang ozone man yun siya. I do not know na anymore. Anyway, so basta we don't like carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because we are oxygen-loving people. Okay, so going back to our statistics, we ran the estimation for our this one. In the post estimation, you have your tests. In the test, you have your I do not know where marginal yata. Let me see. Maybe not marginal. Baka diagnostic. Hindi rin marginal siguro. Specification diagnostics pala. So in the specification diagnostics button, you can see the test for heteroscedasticity here. So for test of heteroscedasticity, you just click on that, launch. Kasi naka-run ka na ng ano eh, ng regression. Dun niya ngayon kukunin if meron ba tayong issue about increasing variance across time. Basically, heteroscedasticity is one of the assumptions of regression. So if you don't run the regression, you cannot actually run your heteroscedasticity test or homoscedasticity test. You can call this one as the HET test. Okay, test for heteroscedasticity. There are options also here. You have this one, the NR squared, the F statistic. Let's just use the BP test. And then we select, use the fitted value variables in the regression. So meron naman tayong regression doon. So click OK. So you can see here that your BP test there is a null hypothesis. So what does it mean if there's a constant variance? Constant variance means homoscedastic, okay? So if your distribution is funnel or not, then variance is actually having to say about that. So if it is homoscedastic, the distribution is not funnel, no? So the errors are actually randomly distributed. So parang yung kay Ma'am Joy before, kita niya yung errors na randomly distributed. Excuse me. So HO is homoscedastic. We accept HO if our P is greater than 0.05. Okay? So what is our P? Our P here is zero point 0.9, so therefore we accept our HO and declare that the series is homoscedastic. Okay? So homoscedastic. Now, and this is actually now the issue that we need to run the stationarity test, no, or the ADF. So sa ADF, kasi if you are going to look at the distribution, there is somehow a trend there. Now your time series would require, or your non-stationary data would say that non-stationary concept. Ayan. The non-stationary is characterized by trend and seasonality. There's actually trend and seasonality in the graph. But looking at that trend and seasonality, can we call this one as non-stationary or stationary? So the BP test is heteroscedastic, no? So sa heteroscedasticity, sinasabi niya, it is homoscedastic. Does it mean that it is non-stationary? So dun sa non-stationary, hindi pa natin siya na check because what we have only established is that it is homoscedastic, that we can accept the HO of constant variance. So, but there is the presence of what is this trend and the seasonality. So we are still running the risk of using non-stationary data for our forecast. If you do that, you can actually commit spurious models for spurious forecasting models, no? So we have to do the ADF. Dito sa ADF, mahirapan ako dito para hindi ko na-review. We have to look at the ADF. Saan na nga uli yung ADF? Maybe post-estimation also. Augmented decay Fuller test. Okay. Statistics. Stationary, this is going to be in the what is this, in the forecasting module. This is the we have to declare this one as a time series. So where is time series? Right there. And so we have to TS set yata ang pag-declare nito eh. Pero hindi ko pa alam kung paano dun sa ano. Declare data set as time series data. There. So the time variable that we would like to declare is this panel data. I do not know there. And then this is monthly, okay? And then submit. Yeah, so this is TS set carbon dioxide monthly. So we have already declared this one as monthly data and time series data. So we go to time series. Let's see if there is tests here. The test is there. So the test is augmented Dickey-Fuller unit root test. That's under the time series button. And then we select our variable, carbon dioxide. There's no transformation. And then click submit. Time variable not set. Okay. Time variable not set. Time variable is time. Okay. Okay. And your Dickey-Fuller test is right here. Your test statistic is negative 1.6. The critical value should be the lowest is negative 2.5, and that is lower than um, what is this? The critical value of negative 2.58. And so here your p-value is 0.47. What is the null hypothesis for the Dickey-Fuller test unit root? I have to review. Let's review. Parang let us just be sure about null of ADF test. The null hypothesis of ADF test time series contains a unit root and it is non-stationary. So yun yung sinasabi niya. Do we accept the null hypothesis? Yes, we accept the null hypothesis because it's greater than 0.05. So therefore, it's not stationary. Okay? So to do that, you actually need to do the differencing. So the differencing, you transform this carbon dioxide into its first difference. So your first difference is this minus your first. Are you following? So we'll just copy this one. Let's see if we can correct the first difference here. Excuse me. Var 5, let us change that one as the CO2 rename. Saan na ganun pag-rename man eh? Kalimot naman ko eh. Keep only show, copy var list, select all. Pag-rename ano eh. Dali dahil sa boss. Sorry. There. That would be CO2 D1. CO2 D1. So CO2 D1, we are going to run. Let's see if we can already run. Cannot run it here. We can already run the CO2 D1 without declaring it as a ano yan? Time series. CO2 D1. Time. Next time. Click submit. Your Makinon as the P is less than 0.05. We now reject your null hypothesis that there is unit root and it is non-stationary. You reject that one. Kasi okay na yung iyong test statistic that's greater than the highest value at 1%, no? So meaning to say at 99%, we can confidently say that the series is not stationary anymore. At D1, how do we also visualize that one? We can also do the same here. We can insert graph. and select data. Let's add data here. Select data, add data. And then, oops, mali. This should be, data should be on the, this is CO2 D1. This is going to be on. Let's check if we can, if we'll have the same graph as expected there. So with this kind of information, you can actually see the difference between the two graphs. One has trend, yung hindi na difference, naka-trend pa siya. Tapos dito wala nang trend. And is it seasonal? Then probably there's still some sort of seasonality, but it's not that very evident anymore or very established. Kasi sometimes there are multiple peaks and multiple declines in your process. So unlike this one. So this is now can be considered as a stationary data, and it is verified by your unit root test. Do you have clarifications on this? So ganun lang. This is data. I used the 15.1 version. Someone I think was able to copy. No, hindi pala kayo nakakopy last time. No? So try nyo na lang if you wanted Stata or Gretel. So ganun lang sa Gretel, hanapin nyo lang yung command button for your, what is this? TS set, as well as for your ADF na test, and then the fuller test, as well as yung BP test, Bruce-Pagan test. So you'll be able to input your exercises in our Dropbox already. So that's for exercise 4. Autocorrelation naman yung exercise 4. That's your DW. For exercise 5, you have heteroscedasticity and stationarity. Don't be worried. There will be no consequence whether or not you were able to achieve normality, autocorrelation, and or non-autocorrelation, and then you'll be able to achieve heteroscedasticity or stationarity. Don't worry if you cannot achieve those, because as I have mentioned before, gusto lang natin malaman kung paano yung transformation or possible test or intervention na gawin natin in case hindi maganda yung model na ibigay sa atin later on ng automatic na what is this? Expert modeler forecasting. So, ngayon pagka hindi kayo kontento or contented doon sa result nung model na binigay, you can actually have human intervention. And also, pag nakikita nyo na there is trend and there is seasonality, you can actually do something about it. Not just feed it into the machine and let the machine do its job. So what you can do if you are a modeler already, or if you are actually forecasting modeler, you can do something about your data. No? Plus, when you do something about your data, you'll be able to explain what happened behind the process of transformation. So once you did that one, you're able to do that one, your interpretation is grounded on those data transformation processes that you have done. So, dili mo mailad sa machine. dili ta ma-blind sa machine kung sa gihimo ni machine. Okay? So, kita, we will be well aware what happened behind the scenes, no? Or behind the processes that the machine conducted. So, yun lang naman ang sa time series. You need to satisfy these assumptions, no? Na wala siyang autocorrelation, na hindi siya heteroscedastic, at saka hindi siya non-stationary but instead stationary siya. Okay? So, ang mga consequences niyan, pagka niran ninyo na violating all those assumptions of normality, so apat pala yun ng mga assumptions, you will end up with a spurious model. So, yung model mo is not dependable. So, hindi tama yung magiging decision later on. The basis of that decision is spurious, and so therefore the decision is also very shaky as well as spurious at the same time. So all in all, I think we are ready for the expert modeler. These are all the assumptions that we need to know. Before that one, I wanted to also share the concept of volatility in your data. So in the volatility, basically you wanted to see how volatile is your data. Sometimes this volatility is a big concept in um, stock market, no, or in trading. So, or in foreign exchange, yung volatility. Yung what we mean by volatility is yung mga movements ng data across time. So, let me just select that concept. Ay, mali. So, dito what is this? 3.2. Dito tayo sa. So, for volatility, what we use is the coefficient of variation. CV. So how do we get the CV? The CV is actually, where is that CV? Nawa man dili. Ayan, there's a data visualization here. For that one. So, kunin lang natin. I think this is still the same carbon dioxide. What we can do here is to get the mean per year. So, we can do that one in SPSS, no? So, you can have the mean per year, and then here you can see that from 1990 to 1997, saan ba siya mas volatile? So, ang mean natin sa 1993, 54. Yan. Ito yung kanyang itsura. Okay? And then, we also have the coefficient of variation here. Hindi ko siya nakita sa SPSS, but instead, ginawa ko na lang siya sa, what is this, in Excel. So what I did is, ano bang, I think that's the STDEV or standard deviation divided by your mean. That is your coefficient of volatility. So you can check that one, 1.956 or 1.96 divided by 354 times 100. Just the calculator here. Calculator. would be 354. 354 divided by, I do not know, 1.96. 1.96. Ay, no, baliktad pala. It's 1.96 divided by 354. 1.96 divided by 354 times 100. So you have your percent, 0.50 to 55%. So yan yung coefficient of variation mo. And that's a measure of volatility of your time series. So every year, kasi monthly yung carbon dioxide. So saan siya masyadong nag-change? Hanapin mo yung pinakamataas na CV, that is basically 0.67. In 1991, mas malaki yung, mas erratic. No? Mas erratic yung carbon dioxide noong 1991, yung movement dun sa 1991 compared to the rest. So saan mas nag-stabilize yung carbon dioxide? It is around 1994, having the lowest CV, that's 0.54. So if you are going to further describe your process or the time series process, you can also use the CV as a measurement of volatility. So also trying to understand further your time series process, you can also use your volatility concept or your CV concept of CV to understand your time series further, no? So, ana lang na siya. Okay, so questions on this? Kasi just by looking at the graph, tingnan mo yan, kung tatanungin ka, saan mas erratic yung movement ng dependent variable mo, carbon dioxide? You cannot actually tell kasi seasonal siya and then there is a trend. You cannot tell that one by just looking at the graph. Okay? So even if you magnify the graph, hindi mo pa rin talaga siya masasabi kung saan siya mas nagmo-move. So what you can do is to compute for the coefficient of variation. Saan nagbabari? Kaya coefficient of variation. Okay, we proceed with the expert modeler. I hope you can follow the discussion. If you have questions, please ask them now. Because in this expert modeler, you are expected to perform this after this Saturday so that when we come back into the class, you can run that one. And then after you run that one, you interpret already. After interpreting, then that's the time you write your, what is this? You write your term paper. Okay, in expert modeler, one of the advantages here or the major advantage of expert modeler is that we're not only dealing with univariate forecasting model or univariate approach in forecasting. So here, the expert modeler will allow us to forecast all variables of interest at one time or in just a single click. So, ito siya kasi, sandali, i-discuss ko pa ba yan sa inyo? We're done with the comparison of the different functions, no? Yung logarithmic, linear, cubic function that came from model specification. If we try to see if the distribution is linear or nonlinear. So I believe I have already discussed that one with you. So let me just skip that slide. So reflecting on CO2 and broadband data, you can grab the broadband data -1 from your SPSS. You can also I think the carbon dioxide, I'm not sure if it is also in the SPSS. But anyway, the difference between the two is that in carbon dioxide, you only have one variable or one variable of interest that you're going to forecast, and that is your carbon dioxide. In the broadband data, if you can observe this one, there are actually a lot of variables. We call them as market 1, market 2, market 3, and so on and so forth. Actually, that is until market 85 yata. So there are 85 markets that you are interested in forecasting the sales of broadband or their revenues from this particular markets. No? So in market 1, this is now the revenue performance of the company. In market 2, this is probably they have segmented their market into several cons- uh, consumption points. No? Like say for example, market 1 is in one place, market 2 is another place, or in barangay, and so on and so forth. So mga ganun na klaseng distribution. So ito yung advantage ng expert modeler. Pwede niyang i-forecast lahat nito, no? In one single click or in one go. So your time series or expert modeler needs to have these assumptions. Check. It must be numeric quantitative data. The data should be time series. Why time series means regular yung kanyang interval. And then the time series should be stationary. Then there's no missing values. So you see the ultimate measurement for your time series analysis is the stationarity. So ito lang yung hinihingi niya dito. Actually, hindi niya lang hinihingi yung mga iba, no? Normality, autocorrelation, and heteroscedasticity, and nung ali isa, yeah, ika number 4 yung stationary. Okay? So, probably, if non-stationary na yan, then your expert modeler can perform best, no? Can perform its analysis more efficiently. Okay? So, I have also given you the techniques in treating missing values. You can do interpolation or extrapolation. So your interpolation is when you have your missing values within your data set. So that's between or within the data series. Your extrapolation would be outside of your time series. Say for example, the last period missing siya. So you extrapolate. Pero pagka ang missing is between those periods, then you interpolate. You have that process or those processes in SPSS also. So in time series model, you go to forecasting, and then usually because you don't have models yet, you create models. So here we will be utilizing the broadband data. So ito siya. We just click on expert modeler. When we click on expert modeler, meaning to say we will leave the analysis to the machine, no? To analyze whether what kind of model ang karapat-dapat doon sa data series mo. If you don't click expert modeler, you wanted to do some exponential smoothing or ARIMA, then the machine will just limit the analysis on models for exponential smoothing and ARIMA. Okay? So, ganun siya. Yan. So, this time, the dependent variable, we have 4. Pwede mo actually i-click lahat yun. And then, ang method niya is expert modeler. And then, you also want to get rid of outliers or you want to include outliers. So, here, when you click on outliers, the expert modeler is going to detect outliers and then integrate that one into its analysis. How to run forecasting models using outliers. Okay, and then, but first, of course, you have to declare this one as a time series data. But I believe this is already declared, no, as a time series data, because at the end, yeah, there are 85 markets all in all. You can see here in this box. And then there's also the year and month. So meaning to say, this one is a monthly data, and at the same time in, I do not know how many years. Uh, that is not going to really, you know. And then there's also this option na will allow us to include certain events, no? So these are independent variables now that is going to um, be additionally included in the model. So say for example, if your data is seasonal, so pwede ka mag declare dyan, I mean, tulad nung issue ni Sergio na seasonal siya, meron siyang wet at saka dry season, you can actually include that one as 01. So, in the independent variables. So, pwede natin siyang isama dyan. And then probably, baka mas maganda ngayon yung model na ibibigay mo. Okay? So, basically, it is just a matter of recognizing and understanding the characteristics of your time series process. So, pagka meron kang mga ganong klaseng events, you can actually model that one, no, in the SPSS modeler. So, it will allow you to model seasonality or with certain um, external factors. So, meron siyang, like say, for example, El Nino or La Nina. So, you can also do that one under environmental. No? These are event variable capability for your expert modeler. Maybe if you want to also compare the two administrations, no, the present and the past administration, the Bongbong Marcos and the Duterte administration, or if not the Pinoy administration and the Duterte administration. Say for example, with or without war. Okay, so pwedeng ano siya, ma-model yan under that one event. Okay, so you just have to declare that one right here. Kaya kita mo yung ano, kita mo yung distribution, meron siyang event dito. So 0 means I do not know how 0 is being labeled in the variable labels of this data. And then there's also 1 right here sa baba. Okay? So but basically this is an event. So when you do this kind of model, so dito ka ngayon sa event. Check mo yung event na yan as your independent variable. Now, if you have different events here, pwede mo rin siyang ilagay dyan kasi magre-reflect niya sa chat. Okay? So, we continue that one. And then you wanted to see the goodness of fit. The goodness of fit will be under statistics in the time series modeler. You wanted to see the MAPE. So we have been computing this MAPE in our first lectures. And then there's also the MAD, mean absolute deviation, or the MAE ang sa kanya dito. There's also the I'm not sure if it is the mean MAD, MAPE, and mean absolute deviation at MSE, mean squared error. I'm not sure if this is the mean squared error. Probably I am around 80% na MSE ni siya. So MSE, MAPE, and MAD, or this is the MAE, sabi niya. Okay? So also click on goodness of fit right here. The stationary R square. If you want the normalized BIC, you can also have that one there. Later na natin gawin yung display forecast. So that's just on goodness of fit statistics. For visual plots, you go to plots, and then ito, meron kang forecast dito at saka meron kang fit values. So based on the model, meron siyang estimates, and then there's also your what is this? Your observed values or your actual values. That would be in the visual plots. You can actually play around this different buttons here. See if see if it is interesting and important in your analysis. I have already discussed this one. Hindi, sige. Daanan lang natin. Modeling options. If you click on Expert Modeler, hayaan na natin siya. For exponential smoothing, allows the selection of exponential smoothing model that differs in their trend and seasonality. And for ARIMA, autoregressive and moving average and differencing kasama doon. Your AR is autoregressive, I is for the differencing. And then you also have your moving average. Okay. AR used to, what is this? AR models used to treat for autocorrelation, moving average for heteroscedasticity, and I is for your stationarity. Okay, so you have complete package there for checking for autocorrelation, heteroscedasticity, and stationarity. So for exponential smoothing models, ito yung available na mga models in Expert Modeler. You have the non-seasonal and you have the seasonal. So for non-seasonal, you have the simple no trend model, and then you have the whole sprout, and then you have the top. When the trend is dying out, kung nagpipeak na siya, nagpa-plateau siya later on. No? So the trend is upward and then magpa-plateau siya later on. We actually have that one as the life cycle models. Nagpa-plateau siya. Hindi pa siya sundowner ha. So nagpa-plateau siya. So probably growth models can have this dump models or dying out trend. If you're going to plot population, I suspect population is going to have that kind of characterization of its process. For seasonal models, you have again the simple, and then you have the winters additive and multiplicative. I think I have discussed additive and multiplicative already. So, for additive, constant yung kanyang trend with seasonality. For multiplicative, it's going to have funnel, no? Pataas. Funnel. It's not heteroscedastic na funnel, ha? This is seasonality with trend na nag-funnel shape siya. Then there's also the ano ba sinasabi? ARIMA, the Box and Jenkins approach in forecasting. So in ARIMA, meron siyang non-seasonal at saka seasonal. Caters, sinivariate with predictor. Yung predictor mo is the independent variable. For the transfer functions in ARIMA, nakita niyo yung transfer functions dyan. This one. Yeah. Transfer function dyan. Okay. For the transfer function, pwede mo siyang i-model dito. If you don't want the expert modeler to do this, you can actually model it yourself. So in the numerator, it specifies just paano ba yan? I would like to leave that one with you because we can actually do that one here. So between non-seasonal at saka seasonal, pwede mo siyang i-model dyan. If yung sinasabi niya numerators, past values of the predictor, predict the current values of the dependent variable. So yung predictor mo is the independent variable. Okay, so what past value of that independent variable is going to predict the current dependent variable. So if the second may lag 2, so gawin mo siya doon sa numerator mo. If it is under seasonal or non-seasonal model. Same will happen to the denominator and differencing. For the delay, ganun din. Sets a number of periods before IV affects DV. So lagay mo rin siya dyan sa delay. So yung ibang unit root test nasasabi niya na identify niya what past value yung nakaka-affect dun sa present value, no? But also in the autocorrelation test, we can see if it is the immediate past or the two past values or the lag tree and so on and so forth. Kita natin kung ano may mataas na correlation doon. Okay? So that would be the delay. And then there's no transformation. There are actually approaches for transformation. You do the square root or the natural log. Ito yung kanyang process. So you know this already for ARIMA. Autoregressive, ano yung AR, log value. Ilang differencing ang gagawin natin, 1 ba siya or 2. So pagka 1 lang yung katulad ng ginawa ko sa carbon dioxide, nag-stationary naman siya sa in the order of 1, di ba? So in moving average, gaano karami no yung values, either ina-average natin yung first 3 or first 2 or first hindi ka naman pwede mag-average ng 1, no? Kasi automatic actual value lang yun. Either you have your when you say MA1, I think that is your first 2. Okay? You have your MA2 moving average 1. No, I think it's just moving average 2. Let's double check on that. Okay. Oh, okay. I think that's your exercise already. Justify if this forecast is acceptable or not. So for the acceptability, look at the kasi hindi na kayo titingin sa mga autocorrelation, heteroscedasticity, and stationarity dito. Automatic ibibigay na sa inyo yung result nung broadband 1. Calculate the additional total number of broadband subscribers for the next period of 2004. So there are qualifiers here. Sinabi niya total number of broadband subscribers. You have different markets, okay? So you have to understand that one. That would be under what? You want that one to be under exercise 6 for broadband data. Sige. Exercise 5, and then we'll have this one as exercise 6. Clarifications on this? So, meron lang kayong gawing 1 page write-up on this as well as yung output na lang din ninyo. Sama nyo dyan sa write-up. So, link lang din ang kailangan natin dyan for exercise 6. Okay, so I guess you are ready to do that one. Just follow the discussions. Questions and clarifications?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Sergio. Go ahead.
Sir, pwede pa view ulit sa stata mo, sir?
Stata. May stata ka naman, Sergio, no?
Naka-download lang yun, sir. Bago lang yun.
Base gusto nimo i-show ang Gretel para maka-follow sila. I think
Sir, mo na siyang nag-download kong stata, sir. Kaya wala mang giday sa Gretel. Kuha na rito siya, sir. Kanang mano-mano sa Gretel.
agoy. Mapriso.
Oo. Pwede ka mo tanaw sa kuan lang, sir, katong imong gi-type nga code, itong HESTES, ESTAT.
Actually, ang code nun is, pwede actually siya, para kasi siyang, maganda sa Stata is para siyang Windows ang interface niya rin, no? So,
Oo.
dun sa Windows, pwede mong gamitin yung code or pwedeng ano lang siya, pwedeng dun lang sa mga buttons.
Pwede mo lang tao, sir, balik sa stata, sir.
Sige. Share ko kadali. Yeah. So, wala daw
Sir,
pala si
nabay free version ng Stata, sir?
wala. Crack na siya. Pero katong akong Di ba, remember last Saturday, nag-copy ko? Actually, nasa hard drive eh. So, sige lang. So, I'll try my best to upload. Ay, upload ko na lang kaya ang link dito, no? So, para makuha ninyo. Ay, pero parang
Hirap din, mga
listen,
admit, oh.
nakakatakot. Kasi baka ano tayo, ano na lang, i-hand over ko na lang sa inyo. Huwag na lang link. Kasi baka sa link ma-intercept ba? Ma-intercept ng mga HOUD na mga kuan tapos malocate tayo mamaya. Mahirap talaga tong Pinoy ba? Sige lang, hanapan natin paraan kung paano natin yan ma-transfer. Pwede nyo, I think Sir Joe was able to, Jonathan was able to download, no? Turuan nyo na, hingi na lang tayo advice sa kanya paano i-download. Kasi baka yung iba na-download is merong virus, no? Or hindi kaya, hanapan pa kayo ng ano niyan, ng license. So, itong
Actually,
state
sir, ako
Hmm.
nakita nga crack version pod nga license pero mag-undo lang ta sa year.
Oh,
Like karon nag 2020 ko kay 2021 dapat na license na siya daan. Nasa link sir gi-post na ko ang
Ah,
link as well
Oh.
as the code
serial number.
serial.
Yeah, okay, good. I think you can do that one. You can follow suit. You download the data and then try to also conduct the BP and the ADF. So, asa ganit diri Sergio imuhang kuhaon for the BP test ka muna, no? First, you have to declare TS set, no? Yung TS set, tapos yung variable right here. TS set, and then that is actually declaring that your data is time series. Saan ba yung TS set? Dito pa yata siya. Ito. Yeah. Ito. Unsuccessful to na mga ano eh. Unsuccessful to siya na mga test. But I think, naka-declare ba tayo before? Hindi na, nag-run na ito diretsyon ng regression tapos BP test. Kasi heteroscedasticity lang naman yung ating interest before. So, for the head test, that is EStat tapos head test. Kaya automatic yung na-run na regression, yun ang kanyang di ba may option doon from the fitted model. So, head test, bigay niya kaagad sa'yo yung BP test. Tapos, since we're going to do the ADF as a stationary test, a stationarity test, so that is a time series test. So, kailangan i-declare mo yung data mo as time series. So, for the declaration of data as time series, ito siya. Okay? So, TS set, time is monthly.
Got it, sir.
Okay. Tapos, for those who are not actually very good at coding or very comfortable at coding, pwede nyong gamitin dito sa statistics. Parang SPSS lang din. So, ito maganda sa Stata. No? So, ayan. So, declare data set to be time series, and then there's also the test here. No? Maraming mga unit root test eh. So, depending actually on the assumptions that you are operating on. No? So, basically, when you do your dissertation, if you're going to proceed with forecasting, you might not only be limited to the ADF. Well, you will be evaluating the kind of unit root test that you are going to do, whether you're going the PP test or the Phillips-Perron or this DFGLS test. Okay. White noise. This is white noise is the random data process or the time series data process. You're going to test if it is also having that kind of structure. Your data set has that kind of structure. Okay. clarifications, further clarifications? Good luck on your exercise. See if we can
Mm.
achieve the desired outcome for this particular session. Yes, Ma'am Joanne. Go ahead.
Doc, i-clarify lang na ako, ang first 5 will be using katong amo ang data and the 6 katong sa experts modeler. Mao na tong another set na pod of data katong sa broadband, no? Tama ba ko?
Oo. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, kasi yun yung exercise niya.
Thank you po.
You can also proceed already with your data. So we can evaluate that one once we come back into the classroom. I would like to encourage everyone to conduct the forecasting expert modeler process on your data already, and then see if your results are what's ang tawag, as you desire, no? In accordance to your expectations, or in accordance to our ideal concepts, no, in forecasting. If not, then I think ano na lang yun, just a matter of interpreting the results na lang.
Sa
But
paper,
first, yeah,
paper doc, mao na to ang kung kibali matapos na namo, pwede na to siya mo i-incorporate sa results.
correct.
Then that makes na our katong paper nga for final submission.
Oo, correct,
Yes.
correct. So, meaning to say, what we did so far is that hinay-hinaya na to ang inyong papel. So, step by step, every Saturday, we are actually conducting your paper. We are actually finishing up your paper. So, at the end of the semester, no reason for you to have no reason for you not to submit the paper. Kay mamay atong gipang himo for the past sessions, no? So after all of this, what is left for you is the discussion of the results of your analysis. Any more clarifications? Excuse me. Sige. So kung wala na, I will leave you with that exercise. You still have dugay-dugay pa, no? You still, yes, sir. Sir
Face,
Ko.
face-to-face na next week, Doc? Saturday?
Dapat, no, kasi alternate man. Let us wait for further announcement, no, kasi actually ako gusto ko na rin face to face para kasi
Okay,
konti na lang yung
Saturday na
time.
next week.
Nagi. Sige lang, let's just wait for further announcement. Kung dili manggaling siya magpa face to face next week, mag-present lang mo sa exercises pila to? 4, 5, 6 man siguro. Ana siya. So, i-present na lang ninyo sa class tong 4, 5, 6. Autocorrelation. Tapos, 5 is head and stationarity. Tapos, 6 is your broadband. So, that's different from your data. So, segue lang sa broadband because that is our saan tawag na niya? Practice set. So, after the broadband, apply that to your data and then interpret na mo. Okay? So, we'll just wait for further announcement regarding the class arrangement for next Saturday. Base kuan pod face to face nila or kuan lang gihapon online. Okay? Ana lang. Any more clarifications? Sige. So just upload the link of your analysis for those exercises and I'll hope to see you next Saturday. Bye everyone. Have a nice day.
Okay, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.